Hello, I'm Captain Jim, and this is Things You Should Know About, a show where I talk about things I think you should know about. And today, I think you should know about the comic book series Elephantmen. So this is published by Image Comics and was written by Richard Starkings, with the artwork being done by a kind of ever-revolving team of wonderful artists that do all the different episodes. So there's a kind of 2 or 3 of them that do each different episode, and so this gives it a wonderful kind of change of pace, so that each episode has its own feel to it, and its own style. But because of the combined writing, it has a sort of continuous over-arc and continuous characters that develop through the sort of separate stories and episodes. So it's set in and around LA in the year 2259 primarily. So it follows several characters who are the eponymous Elephantmen, human animal hybrids that were created by a company called Mappo, who are unsurprisingly quite evil, about 35 years before the rest of the story, and they were created to be fearless soldiers for a war in North Africa. So in 2242 the UN finally managed to break up this war in Africa and kind of freed the Elephantmen, and kind of managed to break all their mental condition they'd been given, and basically sort of reintroduce them back into society. So like I say, we pick up the story in 2259, and so the 3 main Elephantmen characters really that we follow are Ebony Hide, who is the Elephant Man, who is an elephant from the front of the Volume 1 series, and along with his partner Hip Flask, who is a hippo, who's actually on the front of Volume 3, not representative of his general attire in that one. And these two are partners for the agency, and they kind of police the Elephantmen amongst the other bits and pieces as well, and relics of the war and that kind of thing. So those are 2 main characters really that follow, and some of the people in their lives as well as another major character who's an elephant man is Obadiah Horn. In Volume 2 you can see him on the front, and he's a rhino, as we can see. He's kind of done the most successful really out of the Elephantmen. He's owns a company called Horn Industries. He's extremely rich and powerful and well known. So there are other elephant characters that kind of come and go in it as well, including crocodiles, bison, giraffes and camels, and a multitude of other human characters of course that come into it as well, including of course the obligatory super babes. So far there are 7 volumes available in the style that I've shown you. Each of these contains 7 episodes that were released. So there's volumes 1 to 6, and actually volume 0 as well, which is a prequel. So in addition to the 7 episodes that you get in each volume, there's a large section in the back, about as much as one of the episodes itself, which covers some of the background of the writers and artists that have done it, where the stories have come from, and lots of the sort of early artwork and sketches and things they've done towards creating it, which is actually really good. The artwork is fantastic in these books. Like I say, it changes from each episode to episode, so the feel of it changes quite a lot. So some of them are quite dark and focus largely on the war and the Elephant Woman when they were soldiers, and their kind of creation and the horrible things that had to do for them to be created, and how they were brainwashed and treated badly, and it's quite a sort of telling tale about how companies and people become corrupt with power and start thinking of themselves as sort of godlike entities without any limitations really or morality. On the other hand, there's much more light-hearted ones done in much sort of comic-y book feel. One of them that's actually just a story that one of the Elephantmen is telling somebody, which is a young pirate story, a fantasy pirate story, which is absolutely brilliant, and I really loved it, about Captain Stoneheart, and I really love that episode. It's absolutely brilliant. They're all very good. Hopefully you've got a feel for some of the artwork that's in there. Like I say, it varies quite dramatically. The stories are really a good mixture of light-hearted and powerful. They have some very clever and advanced science fiction ideas in there, as well as just entertaining. There's brilliant fight scenes. You've got muscles, you've got boobs, you've got all the classic comic book stuff, as well as some important sort of messages, if you will, or ideas and thoughts. So that's kind of all I've got to say for today about the Elephantmen. Don't want to ruin any of it for you, but if you like sort of interesting ideas of the future, or clever artwork, or comic books at all really, then I definitely suggest you go and get these. Just for the artwork alone, it's definitely worth it. And the stories are fantastic, and the characters are really great. I've totally fallen in love with Ebony Hyde and Hip Flask. Has been a good story. The baddies are far more complex than just being token baddies, and so they're kind of much more difficult to hate, but some of them not so much as others, with complex stories and reasonings that going on behind them. So I definitely suggest you look into the Elephantmen. If you've read them, please let me know what your thoughts about it were in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, please do subscribe to my channel, like this video, and thanks for listening, and hopefully I will see you again.